pretty good. Let's see. Trying to position the camera right. Gonna go on a full self drive at nighttime. Trying to get the screen in and the steering wheel a little bit. All right, and I hope you guys can see that. I turn on the lights here. I think that is going to help. I hope that the camera doesn't shake too much. I've been trying to tighten this up, and I think that we're good. All right, I'm going to take off my hazards. Oh yeah, I should put it into drive. Sometimes you forget if it's in hold. When it's in park, the car stays in place after you come to a complete stop. I have it on hold. I don't want it to roll the way gas vehicles roll. Kind of think that's a little dangerous, and I really like that as a feature. I know there's a lot of gas cars that are now doing it. Keeps you from bumping into somebody or taking your foot off the brake a little bit and rolling a tiny bit when you don't mean to. All right, so we're just here at the highway. I'm gonna let this car go. I'm gonna turn on the full self-drive. We're coming right here onto the exit or onto the on-ramp. All right. All right. There's a car right there, but it merged and the car seemed to have gone into the other lane anyway. For a moment, now it's just starting to rain out here. I'm in New York, the Bronx, and I've been using the full self-driving for about a month and a half or so, 2 months, and I'm getting used to it. I actually I think I like it. I don't like that every once in a while it definitely needs your attention, but because it's beta software, I'm pretty sure everybody understands that beta means that it's not ready for launch yet. All right, we're going to the Cross County Parkway, this says. All right, I want to still make sure I know where we're going. Confirm lane change. There's a car coming, so you could see that the line turned red and the lane turned red. And I mean, check that out. It fixed itself along that lane change, but that wasn't anything less than human. All right, we're coming into a curve right here. I hope the camera isn't really too shaky. I know nighttime drives aren't really the best for video, but I'm trying to figure it out. All right. So we got we're 4 minutes into the video. We're 16 minutes away. It's a 20-minute drive. Full self-driving. We're going 50 miles an hour. It sees that we're on a highway where the speed limit is 50. This is New York. I know it's not the West Coast where you get to go 70 miles an hour. And then I have it set to max speed 50. Now I could raise or lower that max speed 50 with the little wheel by my right thumb. If I move it up slowly, I can go up 1 mile at a time. If I do it quick, I can go by 5 miles. It goes up 5 miles at a time, but it stops on every 5. So right now I have it set for a max 55, speed limit 50 area. It's warning me that there's an upcoming lane change. And then it's asking me to confirm. In order to confirm, I press the paddle down on my right hand, and it lets the vehicle know that I'm aware of what it wants to do. Now, it doesn't always do this. Sometimes it takes the lane without asking, and it feels comfortable enough, I guess, that that's okay for me. I'm paying attention anyway, and I see when it puts its blinker on. I just slowed down my max speed back to 50. It should take the off ramp, the exit 4, pretty safe, but there's no reason to have the max speed really set higher than the speed limit. You could set it to 9 miles over. It's not really advice, but at least hopefully it'll protect you from getting a ticket. All right, so it just slowed down to 45 miles an hour, 40, and now it took that with gusto. It's pretty awesome to have it drive like that. It seems so sure. When there's no cars around and it knows it's safe, it does what it says it's going to do. Now you have to be cautious, because if that doesn't read the speed limit sign and the speed limit stays faster than it should, for most curves it seems to slow down. But on a straightaway, I'd be worried that it might go faster than you like. So my foot's always kind of covering the brake. If I hit the brake or I turn the steering wheel out of alignment with this blue line, I turn off the full self-driving. But if I come to a tight squeeze between me and another car, and I'm on a side street and I want to really just kind of give it gas, turn off the full self-driving, and it kind of just powers me through the situation. Now remember, we don't have gas, so we're not going to call it the gas pedal. We could call it the throttle. We can say we're going to power through it or use the power. But I'm still trying not to slip up and say certain things. I realize I'm not in an ICE vehicle. So looks like we have 2.1 miles to exit 9. I'm holding the steering wheel the whole time. Tesla has you say okay to a warning about this is beta and you cannot fall asleep or take your hands off the steering wheel. It starts to yell at you if your hands are off the steering wheel for too long, and it wants your hands to be on the left and the right side at like 10 and 2, so you have a little torque. Without the torque, when I put my hand at the top of the steering wheel at 12 o'clock and I just rest it there, every once in a while it gets ready to yell at me and says, please turn the steering wheel slightly. These screens are really navigatable. It's really like having an iPad. I can grab this here and open up the screen. Everybody can see it a lot better now. There's a cone over there. This thing sees cones that I don't even notice. But when I see them on the screen, I look and they're always right where they say they were. Here's some cones right here on the side of the road. It started to rain. The windshield wipers are on because of the rain. They're on automatic with full self-driving. The bad thing is that if they ever go off when it's not raining and you're using full self-driving, you can't turn them off. This is a feature to keep you from driving with a rained out windshield where you can't see and you think that the car is going to do work for you. But it's kind of funny when the windshield wipers went off on me one time and it wasn't raining and I couldn't turn them off. Now I could turn them off if I take it out of full self-driving, because now it's in my manual drive sequence. All right, so we're going 45 max in a 50. I didn't notice that I had the max set a little lower. It didn't change when the speed limit changed. So I just spun the wheel twice in the upward direction, and it moved it up 5 miles per hour twice to the 55. Now we have a max 50 and a speed limit 55. This is why you have to always be paying attention. All right, it seems to take the middle lane a lot. I guess it feels like it's the safer lane, which is okay by me. I see Hutchinson Parkway, exit 9 is coming up. This exit isn't anything difficult. It's basically a fork in the middle of the highway here. But I like to keep an eye on the speed limit. Make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. It definitely knew to stay to the right of that fork. All right, we have a bunch of cars up here ahead of us, and it looks like that there's a 30-mile-per-hour turn. See, and it told me to put a little pressure on the wheel. Meanwhile, my hands are on it the whole time, but that's what I like about it. I'm so relaxed driving that my arms aren't stressed or tense. We're going into a 30-mile-per-hour turn, even though we're still in a speed limit 50. All right. Now it's time to merge to our left lane off the exit entrance. All right, it's asking me for confirmation. That's what the blue line is. It tells me what lane, and then it shows you where your car placement will be. All right. For a moment, it thought it wanted me to go into the right lane, but then it changed its mind. I'm glad it did because that wasn't correct. All right, we're going 5.1 miles to Westchester Ave, and that's where we're going to be exiting the highway. I feel pretty comfortable after a number of weeks driving with the full self-driving. It's definitely much different than the autopilot. Autopilot really is a simple version of what all the other ICE vehicles can do. If anything, it can drive faster than it's supposed to drive because it's not reading the speed limit signs. So if you get confused and you think that you have full self-driving on when you have autopilot on, see, on the highway, you won't confuse it because you got this blue line for full self-driving and you have a highlighted road edge or the lane for autopilot. But on a private road or a side road, it seems like autopilot puts the blue line, and I've made the mistake before, so I'm assuming other people have too. All right, so far this is a pretty awesome drive. No interventions the whole time. I haven't had to take over, change out of FSD. And it just seems to make the drive a lot more relaxing. I mean, I could focus more with my eyes and check out the road, see my surroundings. I can check out the screen and see a three-dimensional, a bird's eye view of the cars that surround me. When somebody pulls up behind me or comes up on the side of me, I usually see it here first now. The back windshield is pretty dark at nighttime. I'm in the Model Y 2023. I'm assuming it's the tints alone, but it's also a small window. So even though I have a good view out the back, I don't really seem to use the back window nearly as much as I use the cameras and this bird's eye view map. I mean, you could click here and bring up the cameras and see while you drive, which is really awesome. I don't know if some people think that that's distracting, but I don't find it distracting. Great to see your two mirrors, who's behind you. If by any chance something bad happens and you need to record it, you press this camera button right here and it'll record the last 8 minutes and the next 2 minutes or something like that. And I think it saves about 10 minutes of time though. All right, everybody's going a little faster than us, even though I'm in the middle lane. I'll raise the max speed limit to 55. I'm going to take off the cameras. I think this is a great view for doing a live feed. It's taken me a while to find a healthy place to put the camera without shaking too much. And I mean, tell me I'm crazy, but I feel pretty good about it right now. Type in the comments if it makes you feel a little sick and I shouldn't do this, or try this last mount suction cup to the roof. It's 3 suction cups. The single one shook a decent amount the first time. So I returned that. I only used it for a day. And interesting. It wants to. Huh. So that time I intervened. It wanted to pull me over to the right, and it kind of just surprised me. I think that was because of going over a drawbridge where there was no lanes, but there were clearly no cars in the right lane. I just didn't like that it did that, and I didn't see the warning. Maybe I was talking and not looking at the screen. All right, we got 1.5 miles. This is why your hands always have to be on the wheel, though. So you guys all saw how that could catch you by surprise. I mean, I definitely make sure that I'm leaning to the left and holding it tight while making sure that there's no cars on my left. So I can do that because the car seems to be doing most of the rest of the work for me. So we're going to exit 1B. 1B. We got 3 more exits. A couple of hot rodders just kind of thought that they were going to fly by. I've had a few people cut in front of me, and even if they hit the brakes, the Tesla is pretty fast to react. I can't say 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it reacts faster than I would be able to react. One time I was even at a red light that just turned green, and a moped thought that he'd come across and drive across the pedestrian pathway. And just as the Tesla started to roll forward, it stopped, and I didn't even see the guy coming. So there have been a number of situations that it's done its job. All right. So I'm behind somebody right now. I'm going to change the max back down to the regular speed limit. Now I could also go max down to 45. I don't know if you guys are interested in seeing that. This guy's going to get a little bit of a distance on me here, but if it makes you feel safer when you get off the highway, I mean, you just scroll your thumb. So here's the exit. It looks like a pretty good exit. I have my foot hovering the brake. I turn on the blinker. It sees all these cones over here. It's making a nice turn. And we're pulling up to a red light. See, so this was interesting. It still has a speed limit at 50. It just changed to 25. But it had already automatically changed my max to 25. Oh, just through that red light. I'm saving that to the dash cam and sending that to Tesla. It is clearly a red light, and there's no reason why it should have tried to do that. So I'm in drive on hold. I'm going to engage again. Oh, and you know what? It thinks that there's a stop sign where there's a different sign that says two-way traffic ahead. So it thought it was making a stop. Incredible. All right. Incredible. That's a great one to catch on there. I hope they're able to fix that. You'll see as we come up to this red light over here. I'd never had that happen yet. Very interesting. So now we're at a red light, and there's a stop sign all the way over there, which there actually is this time. And it seems to understand that it's a stop sign. Now, why is the car acting like it is thinking about making this turn in a red? It shouldn't. We gotta hit the brake again? Very interesting. Huh. All right, well, we're gonna turn. I try to tell people it's not really meant for off the highway. So it's good to turn the full self-driving off. Usually I have a really good performance after I get off the highway, get into the rest of my destination. But I'm going to say that was a fail this time. The highway ride was a total success, but that was a fail. We did have that one interjection, but I don't feel like that it was going to drive into the wall. It definitely felt like it was just lane changing, and it thought that the lane was a lot wider. But I wanted to bring everybody along for this ride. I'm going to pull over and turn off the camera, turn around, and re-record as I head back home. Right now you can see the Tesla is in manual. I'm driving, and it drives like a regular car. It's a little zippy, but it feels pretty comfortable. So in case you were interested in how a regular drive went, I mean, this is what it looks like. The line isn't blue. It's telling me where to go. We're going to make a right-hand turn here, and I'm going to pull over and turn off the camera for now. Everybody, thanks for watching. I hope to keep doing this. It's pretty fun. I don't really like it when something goes wrong like that, but we're doing these videos in case anything goes wrong. Now I saved the video, and we'll be able to report it and show Tesla in either I'll send it over the air here or when I go to the Tesla shop. So everybody, thanks for watching and hanging out for a few with my drive, and I'll talk to you later.